All right, welcome back to the IMNerd podcast, guys. We're here for episode 32. And today we are going to be doing another freestyle episode talking about a lot of things that happened during the last week or so. We have a huge announcement from Marvel on all the different Marvel shows that are coming out, just like She-Hulk. The X-Men 97 cartoon, which I used to absolutely love as a kid, is apparently coming back in 2023, but I think with like new episodes. So I'm imagining it's going to look completely different. We have the Agatha All Along show, which I think they call Agatha House of Harkness, and a couple others. So we're going to talk about thoughts on that stuff. So Kenny, how are you? How are you today? How are you feeling?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little sluggy today, a little slug. I feel the slug. When you just feel the slug.
Yeah. Well, that's me today as well.
I feel the slug.
I didn't get out of bed until noon, and that's not like me on a Sunday. And I don't know what time I went to bed last night, but I feel like it wasn't that late. So I'm a little confused on why I was feeling so sluggish today, but I did get up and do like laundry, and I hate doing laundry so much. So I do it once every month and a half, like every 45 days or so. I hate laundry.
I don't know the exact schedule I have for laundry, but it's just when I run out of shirts, I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta clean them.
Mine is when my my colored bins, like when they're filled to the top, is when I start being like, all right, I can't push this down any further. Like I have one for white clothes and then one for because I wear a lot of black. So I have like one for blacks and dark colors and then one for just regular colors. Once those things fill up, it's time to do laundry and I just get sad, especially when I start putting stuff on top of them and it's just a pile. It's just a mountain on top of the dirty clothes bin. It's like, all right, now I'm just being disgusting. I need to do laundry.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I've been watching this main stage, just Smash tournament. It's not just Smash. I think they have the Nickelodeon game as well, was featured there. But it's mostly known for Smash fighting game tournament. So I've been watching that on stream all day on Twitch. And I really do enjoy watching Smash Ultimate content. It's one of my favorite things to do to pass time, especially these past couple of weekends. There's been so many in-person tournaments and like they're majors. So
it's pretty wild. I remember. I guess I'm just surprised that they're kind of back. Like after COVID, like this.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to watch Melee, like there was a big Melee tournament every single weekend.
Yeah, I guess to a crazy point.
Like not all of the quote unquote five gods would be at every one, but every one would have like two or three of them.
Yep.
Like there'd be two or three of the gods at each tournament, and then once every 3 months, all five of them would be at one, and it's just like holy
epic
shit.
As hell, because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, this tournament had a lot of names. They're in top 8, I believe now, so it's starting to, dwindle down. And the main people who you'd expect are all still in it. MKLeo, Tweak, and Spargo. Those are the top. Those are the number 1, 2, and 3 players, respectively. All 3 of them are still in it. So, I mean, it's looking like any other tournament, despite the fact that there were so many names this one. There were international names and everything. So, really, really cool stuff. I'm a big Smash, participant as far as watching it goes. I love watching it, and occasionally I do play it, but I think playing Smash online is god awful, as do most people who do. Very frustrating experience. I don't recommend it to anyone.
It's so Ultimate is so close to the perfect game, man.
It really is.
That game. I've said it before, but I have such a love-hate relationship with that game because everything about that game makes me want to love it. Like it is. Yeah. It's got well over 1,000 songs. I said this before, but at launch, before the DLC, it had more than 24 hours of music. You couldn't listen to all the songs in Smash in a full day.
Yeah,
and now
crazy.
There's been DLC. All the DLC adds, at least 5 songs. Fucking Terry Bogard came with 50 songs. So
yeah, Sora came with like 8 to 12. I forget exactly which, but he came with a lot too.
So there's so much music in the game. The music is great. The roster is one of the best rosters and if not the best roster of any fighting game.
It's
ever.
literally moving.
Yeah. So the game is just incredible, but then there's just other things about it that make me go, ugh. And one of the big ones is the online. It's like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
The game came out in 2019. It's way, way, way too late in human history for it to not have good online.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right about that. There's no excuse, especially after we played Monster Hunter Rise, which has amazing online. And it's like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah. It's frustrating,
so
man.
I really don't know because I was expecting Monster Hunter Rise. I'm gonna be honest. You remember going into it, I was like, dear God, if the online experience is anything like Smash's, like where there's a huge input delay, or you guys who I can see teleporting around because it's just not a stable connection or whatever. But none of that really happens. Like literally
That
none of it.
never happens. No,
Yeah.
we played Monster Hunter Rise, and we for well over 100 hours, and we might have had one, maybe two issues. Like I know the one night when the new Narwa fight came out, that night was pretty bad. But I guess it's just because there was a million people playing at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, there were probably a couple factors going into that, and also that fight might not have been optimized at the time. To be honest with you, there was a part where a random Elder Dragon just comes out the sky, and everyone's camera has to like watch the Elder Dragon come down. It's very random.
It is pretty random.
It's kind of scary because like you could have been about to dodge an attack from Norway, and her attacks are gigantic, and then the fucking camera just goes to like Teostra flying down. It's like, what the hell is happening in this fight?
And when I first saw that, I was terrified because I thought Teostra was coming down. I thought she summoned Teostra to fuck on me.
That's what I
didn't realize Teostra was coming to help us.
I was like, yo, there's no way.
I thought we were about to get fucked on. That's something that Monster Hunter Rise, it's just like a small grip I have is I do dislike. I don't think you should be able to ride Elder Dragons, man. I think that's crazy that you can ride it. Like, you should not be able to ride Teostra and have Teostra fight other monsters and shit. Like, he should be like, fuck off me.
I completely agree, especially because the Elder Dragons all have like an aura.
Yeah.
And especially Teostra, it just, it doesn't make sense for Teostra ever to let you ride it. There's just no world where that should be a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. You can't trap them, so it wouldn't be crazy to be like, oh well, you also can't ride them. I wouldn't be mad about that. But
not at all.
But yeah, all right. So before we get into the main part of the episode, I actually want to read some listener letters from Austin. He has 3 that he wrote pretty much all on the 13th. So just going over some of our past episodes. Hold on, give me a second.
My man was binging what he missed.
Okay.
My man.
Yes, he definitely was binging. It looks like the podcast these last couple of days. So we have this one is on Anime Death. He said one death that is surprising you don't think will hit you is the first ship Luffy has. So is he talking about the Going Sunny?
Oh, the Going Merry.
Going Merry, yeah. I mean, you and I have talked about this. I don't even know how many times in the past. I don't know if it's necessarily been on a podcast, but
I think we have talked about it on the podcast.
I feel like we couldn't possibly
spoilers for one of the greatest moments in all of One Piece.
But, yes, yeah, literally the Going Merry. I don't even transitioning. I'll call it. That is definitely one of the craziest anime deaths, and I literally cried when I read it. I'm not even gonna. Like I said this before, but I'll say it again. Like it literally was the most emotional shit I've read in a manga. Usually when I'm reading manga, not anything that gets me too emotional like that, but I don't know how Oda did it. Something about that ship and it being, transitioning to the next life or being destroyed or whatever. I don't know. Something about that just really hit home. That's the way the characters reacted to it and everything.
I 100% cried, and I'll just never forget the first time I played through the first One Piece Pirate Warriors. They redid that scene, and I'm just like playing the game. And when it got to that scene, I started crying again, like in the video game. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I was like, I've already read and watched this multiple times, and I just couldn't believe that. First of all, they actually did a great job reenacting the scene in that game, and yeah, I just couldn't believe it, and I fucking cried again. I was like, this moment is insane.
Yeah, it's really good. The first time is insane. So for people who know One Piece, you know what we're talking about. He said that one really hits you out of nowhere. Then he goes on to talk about Death Note. He says, I do think L has a better death in the live action Death Note movie, the Japanese one, not the Netflix one, to be clear, since he writes his own name to capture Kira. So I do remember this, that he solves the case by writing his own name, which is a cool concept because he gets time after, like where he knows he's going to die. I think there's even a whole novel or whole movie or whatever about what he does before his actual death.
I didn't see that, but I did see the movie where I don't recall seeing that novel or anything, but I did see the movie where he basically catches Kira by writing his name in the Death Note. I did see that.
I don't remember all the details about it because that had to be over 10 years ago when I saw it. I mean, it's been a long time, and I don't care honestly, for the Death Note movies, any of them. Like, I love Death Note to death, but the main story is pretty much where I stick it because the other stuff tends to be interesting, but definitely worse than the actual story that the author wrote.
Dude, speaking of Death Note, have you ever watched read the special one shots that have come out like after?
Yes. The one that had Trump in it was golly.
Dude, oh my god, they're so good.
Yeah, the one that came out in 2020, I think it came out last year. Actual golly. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. The one, so just to make sure we're all talking about the same one here, but it had Nier in it, and like some new kid gets the Death Note who's also a genius. And I believe when you chose him,
and it takes place in like 2020.
Yeah, it does. Trump is president.
Like yeah.
Yeah, Trump is president, and Nier is still like the lead detective in the world. And some genius kid gets it, and he decides to make a decision to not use it for like 2 more years. Like he literally does a little time skip on himself. I thought it was an amazing read.
It's really good.
If you haven't read the Death Note one shot that came out last year, please do. It is so godly. It actually made me want Death Note back so bad. Like I want them to animate that entire one shot into either a movie or just a little short anime, like a 12-episode anime, because it can definitely be expanded upon. It's really good though.
I agree. Really good. I agree. I think when we do our Death Note episode, we're going to cover it more in depth to give you guys time to read it if you haven't heard about it. There's also another one shot that came out years ago. There's just another one shot. It's about like all the old people in Japan like suddenly start dying, and people think that Kira returned. So that's another one shot. It came out like a good couple years ago. So if you guys haven't heard of them, try to find them and check them out. And,
I don't know if I know about that one. I don't know, something about the old people dying sounds familiar though.
And then when we do our Death Note episode, we'll go into it more. But I wanted to see. I'm happy that you read at least the newest one. That newest one is wild, but we'll get to that another day.
Yeah, the newest one is just golly. I mean, every single page, I was like, God damn it, whoever, like the writer is back on their shit. Every single page, not a wasted moment or anything. It's so good. All right. So the next one is on a Don't Be a Menace episode, which was our last episode. And Austin says, I'm actually a lot more on Kenny's side on this one about the cell phone. So I believe you were talking about having your cell phone where it doesn't even vibrate. He said, but I know with me, my ADHD is so bad. If I don't keep it on silent, I'm going to constantly try to check it. Plus, I will forget all the time to turn off the ringer. Also, only reason I remember mine and my family's is because it hasn't changed. I guess talking about phone numbers.
Yeah, like how you were saying you don't remember your mom's number because
she changed her number too much, so I'll never remember her number. That just won't be a thing. Like I've already accepted that's just not going to be a thing. If I'm ever in need of trouble or something, I probably should just memorize like Xavier's number because his number hasn't changed probably longer than mine, which is over 10 years now.
Yeah, you're like, yo, X, get in touch with my mom. I'm dying.
Yeah, exactly. I need someone reliable because my family, like, how do you have a new number? I have like 6 numbers on my phone for you guys, and every time it's time to call, I don't know which one is correct. It's really obnoxious.
That is absurd.
Yep.
My sister's like that. My sister has a new phone number all the fucking time. I have, I don't even save it anymore. The way I call my sister's current number is I just look through my text messages and I find the most recent text from her.
Yep.
But if I look through I have like 7 different text message conversations with her with 7 different phone numbers that date back.
I have to do the same thing. I can't go to my contacts and then look up my mom and then try to call her from there because there's so many numbers in there. I have to go to our text messages and then call that way or FaceTime or whatever that way. It's a whole thing. All right. And the last one is on favorite candy. Austin says, I usually bounce between a variation. With chocolate, I usually drink M&M minis. I actually love M&M minis.
My man say drink M&M minis.
So what's funny about that?
I know what you mean.
Come in a little pop bottle. Yeah. I'll never forget, man. The marketing. We were kids. The marketing for that was so cool because they used to drink it in the commercials. They would pop it open and just pour the shit down their throats. M&M minis are crack. It's weird because I don't like regular M&Ms though.
Damn.
I don't care for just regular M&Ms. I eat M&M peanut. I like M&M Crispy when they were a thing, and I know they went away for a long time. Then they came back, and there's a couple other M&Ms that I don't really care too much about, caramel and all that stuff. Just give me peanut. Like I really don't need anything else on my M&Ms. I think I have almond M&Ms. I don't know. Peanut is great.
Almond.
Yeah, peanut is where it's at. I think peanut is just one of the best candies. Period. M&M peanut. But M&M minis are really good, and I also used to drink the fuck out of them in that little cap and pop it open, pour a couple down, and then just pop it closed. And next thing you know, you just keep doing that until it's gone like really quickly. Because
that thing is going quick.
Yeah. But he says, I usually drink M&M minis or go Hershey bar or Three Musketeers. Gummies, I go with the new Lifesaver gummies or Nerds Rope clusters. I'm also a huge fan of all yellow flavor candies. So Starburst, bananas, etc. Those are all my favorites. And then he says, Dum Dums are my favorite under influences. so there's that. I don't know if you count truffles as candy, but the Godiva chocolate chip cookie dough truffle is crack. I don't think I've had that.
I know I haven't had it. That shit sounds above my pay grade.
Yeah, I do like truffle candy though in general, but I've never had cookie dough truffle candy. So I love chocolate. I love truffles. I love pretty much all, like everything. You can pretty much do anything to chocolate, and I'm going to like it, especially milk chocolate. I'm not a big dark chocolate person, but when it comes to milk chocolate and covering anything besides insects, I'm going to eat it.
I was just talking about this the other day. I was talking about chocolate with another one of my friends. I don't mind dark chocolate. It's cool. My problem with dark chocolate is half the times when I eat dark chocolate, I don't know that I'm about to eat it.
Yep, me too.
Then you get deceived, and then you taste it, and you're like,
and it's so bitter. It's like, it's one of the most overpowering flavors there is. It's so strong.
If you know you're going to eat it, it's fine. But if you don't realize you're about to eat some dark chocolate, you're like, what the fuck? What did I just eat?
I typically get confused or caught off guard with it as well. It tends to happen when you get those assortment of chocolates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fucking whole thing where you have to turn it upside down.
Dangerous.
They are dangerous because some of them have coconut inside of them, and that's disgusting. But you have to like turn it upside down to find out which candy you're eating, and no one's doing that. So you just look at it, you grab.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That is a thing, yeah.
There's like an identifier on the bottom of them.
Usually there's an identifier. If it's not on the back, it's on the lid. It's like in the lid, like when on the inside of it, or it's literally you have to flip the whole thing upside down, like put the lid on top, then turn it over, and you can see.
I'll just find out when I bite it.
Yeah, that I stopped doing that though for obvious reasons. Like I said, one of them had coconut in it, and to me, coconut tastes like soap, so I refuse to eat anything that has coconut. And definitely don't.
Yeah, do you ever have those like the Hostess snowballs? It's just it's covered in like coconut powder or whatever.
No, see, gag. Like this actually gagged. I can't. Like that's so fucking nasty to me.
Shits are not where it's at.
There's a cake. It's called Chocolate Junior that they have around here. I don't know if they have it everywhere.
Oh, those are amazing. They don't have coconut in them.
Well, let me get to that.
Okay, all right.
Tasty Cake makes something called Chocolate Junior. It's a pound cake, has a layer of chocolate in the middle and a layer of chocolate on top. Very, very delicious snack. But every once in a while, you'll go to a place that sells it, and you'll see a white version next to it, and then it's called Coconut Junior.
Hell no.
It's literally a sheet of coconut on the top and a sheet of coconut in the middle where the chocolate would go. And honestly, every time I stare at it, it just looks wrong. It looks like an albino pound cake. It is just gross. Gross.
Hell no. Yeah, that's the same reason why, in terms of like the dark chocolate, that's one of the big reasons why I hate raisins. Because growing up, you always have those situations where, I don't know, you're at like your grandmom's house and you go to get a chocolate chip cookie. Surprise, it's fucking raisins, not chocolate chips.
Every time I've eaten a cinnamon raisin cookie, or oatmeal raisin, I should say, it's always been because I thought it was a chocolate chip cookie. I've never voluntarily bit into an oatmeal raisin cookie in my life. I've never said, "Oh, these are labeled oatmeal raisin. I'm aware of that, and I'm now going to bite it." That has never happened.
Fucking same.
That has never happened. Not once.
Oh man, it's
deceitful
so bad.
Ass foods. I don't like that. They're fucking deceitful.
I hate that shit. On oatmeal though, I fucking love oatmeal cream pies.
Me too.
Them
Those
shits
are
are
so
so
good.
good.
I haven't had one in probably a decade, but oatmeal cream pies are so good. I don't know how they could be so good, and then everything else oatmeal
They don't
flavor
have
really doesn't.
raisins in them. That's why.
Yeah, raisins do ruin everything. Except, you know what's weird? So I do like cinnamon raisin bagels, though. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're actually not bad. They're not bad.
Yeah, like cinnamon raisin bagels and raisin bread or whatever they call it, like the cinnamon raisin bread that you can like
Yeah,
toast and put cream cheese on. That shit's also good and it smells really good when you start toasting it.
those are good. As
Uh,
long as they don't have the chunks of raisin in them, though.
yeah, I don't
Because
really
that's
want to bite into a chunk of raisin.
another one. I don't really like strawberries. And strawberries are pretty good, but I can't bring myself to eat them because just memories and trauma from being a kid. You open up like a yogurt and then there's strawberry chunks in them. Like if
Yeah.
I'm eating something and then I don't know, like something like yogurt, and I don't know that I'm about to have like a chunk of something in my mouth, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, and it all honestly, whenever that happens, when there's fruit inside of water ice or yogurt, it's not the texture of it is gross. It's slimy.
Yo, it's so
Especially
gross.
so the one I think about is not strawberry, but it's cherries. When they put cherries inside of things, I don't like it because it always the color of the cherry, it looks like disgusting. I don't even know how to describe
Yeah.
it. It loses the bright reddish color that it tends to have. And it has like this really purpley looking color to it. Something's wrong with it. And then
So nasty.
the texture of it is what I'd imagine an insect feels like if you were chewing one. I just don't like it. Don't put fucking, I don't know, fruit in my water ice or yogurt. I don't need that. No one asked for that.
So I don't fuck with boba tea either. Because I'm not trying to like drink my drink and then have fucking balls hit the back of my throat.
Yep, I don't like that either. And people have tried to get me to drink it a couple times, and I've had it, and I kind of stare at the little black things on the bottom. Like I don't want to slurp one of those up. I don't want that.
Yeah, I've tried it, and I just did not enjoy it. Like I was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, I'm weird like that though. I have a texture issue. Like I said, I can't eat. If I order a sandwich, I don't get any lettuce, tomatoes, onions, any of that stuff on it because I can't bite into something that crunches like that. It just freaks me out. So I don't eat salad, none of that stuff.
I like tomatoes when they're diced. When it's just like a slice of tomato, it's like a fat little slice. That shit annoys me. But if it's like diced tomatoes and like a grilled cheese or something,
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I can eat that stuff only if it's what I call stewed. If it's cooked so long to the point where it gets soft, and then it doesn't have the crunch to it anymore. So like when people make pepper steak or spaghetti and they put peppers and things like that, and then like my grandma always put peppers and onions in her meat sauce and stuff, and it like cooks down to the point where you really don't even know that you're biting into a pepper or onion or anything because the texture of it is just so soft.
Dude, I love sausage, peppers, and onions.
So good. So good, but yeah, this has become a whole food episode somehow. Let's get back on track. So all right, but you guys know you can write into IMNerdPodcast@gmail.com and we will read it aloud on the show like we just did the last 3 listener letters from one of our favorite patrons, Austin. But some of the other things that have happened in the last week or two is that Squid Game has been confirmed for a second season, and we had our Squid Game episode a couple of weeks ago. We talked about how we really don't need Squid Game to have a second season.
I'm gonna watch it, and maybe I'm hoping it's going to be great, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. The worst part to me is that I can't not watch it because it's going to be talked about a lot. So
yeah,
it's probably going to be really bad. Honestly, it's probably going to be god awful, especially because now it's going to have all the sleazy money all over it. You know what I mean? Like there might be some advertisements in there, some really cringy product placement now. I just have a really bad outlook on it. I'm very pessimistic about season 2 of this type of show that took 10 years to get on and go ahead.
Yeah. No, I agree. Everybody already knows, in case they haven't seen the episode, you and me both really like season 1, but
yep, I think it's really good.
I just think at least the angle they're going for season, like this whole revenge angle, I just couldn't stop thinking of like some cheesy Terminator shit. Like he was like, I'll be back. Like
it's very much
it was so corny.
I'm not really looking forward to it either. But we
also that cop guy is going to randomly be alive, even though he got shot off of a cliff into an ocean.
Yep,
he'll just be alive.
Yeah, he's going to be alive, no question. They didn't actually show him die, so we know he's still alive. And there's also some unresolved shit between him and his brother because his brother didn't answer any question. The front man.
Yeah.
He didn't answer any questions. So it's kind of like we still don't really know. There are definitely loose ends after season 1, right? That they could spend season 2 like tying up loose ends or explaining things a little bit better, maybe giving some backstory on the game. But I'm just afraid that Squid Game is about to become like a 5-season thing.
Yeah.
That's just going to get so out of hand. It's going to be so poorly written because it wasn't any author's original intention to have it go season to season to season. And then you know how those tend to go.
There's definitely some subplots that they could tie up and bring more to the forefront, because that's something I think we did talk about, but we didn't spend too much time on because we mostly praised the show, I think. But most of the subplots, like I enjoyed the main plot and the main show Squid Game a lot, but most of the subplots were like pretty weak.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could bring those to the forefront and flesh them out and make them a little better. I don't know. I hope it's good. I don't have high hopes though.
Yeah, I would not have high hopes. I also just, it seems super unrealistic to me for a human being to win that entire thing, 1 out of 456, be super rich, and then go back into it. I don't even care if you want revenge or whatever. I don't know if he's going to go back in the game literally, or if he's going to sneak in like the other guy and be, moving behind the scenes or something. But both of those things seem dumb, right? Like, it doesn't matter which one he does. You're putting your actual life in danger, and I just don't see a need to do that. Some people are expecting that he's going to be one of the people with the masks on and like pretending that he is enjoying watching the games, but he's secretly trying to find a way to shut it down, all sort of stuff. And all of these things just sound awful, honestly. Like, I just don't need that at all. It'd been much better if he would have went to see his goddamn daughter. And
man, go see your damn kid. Go see your kid.
We would have been happy knowing that he's super rich. Now he gets to compete with the stepdad, that asshole. Yeah, he get his daughter back for real, or at least get joint custody or something, But as someone who's dealt with a person who has gambling addiction, I will say it's not completely far-fetched for them to go back and find a way to gamble, even after winning it big as you can. So there's that. Also, I know you saw the live-action One Piece casting for Netflix show.
Yeah. I've actually, so we didn't talk about it last week, or I'm sorry, not even last week, 4 days ago.
Yeah.
But we mentioned how, so basically there was a picture that I showed you, and it was a picture of the guy that's playing Luffy, and he was surrounded by a bunch of like One Piece manga and stuff, and he said like he was doing his research or whatever. And then a lot of people were kind of hype about that. You and me were talking about how like that could be a really bad thing because like it could be bullshit. But I will say this: since then, they've been putting out a lot of pseudo promotional material. So they put out wanted posters for all the actors.
Yeah,
like
I saw
Luffy,
that. I thought that was cool.
But Sanji's actor, like they said, like, the photographer accidentally left the lens cap on, so they had to do an artist rendition of the actor for Sanji. So they literally so they did like the drawing of Sanji's actor instead of his picture, which is like in the show. So anyway, I thought that was like really, really cool and interesting that they did something like that, because it's not just taking pictures of the actors and put on wanted posters. They also played into actual One Piece stuff and like the jokes in just the marketing. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I'm excited about this at all, though. I mean, we have to be real here. Live action, especially huge anime live action stuff. Your big ones, your Dragon Balls, your Naruto, your Bleach, all of that stuff, all the big ones. Yu Hakusho, like anything live action for these tends to be god awful, and I don't even care if it's American made or Japanese made.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They both tend to just be not very good whatsoever. I mean, we all recall the Death Note Netflix show or movie. That shit is so bad.
What's crazy is that I do think, so regardless of the fact that the Netflix show was bad, or movie, I'm sorry, I think Death Note is one of the anime that would work really well. If it was adapted as like an HBO show, it's very easy to adapt to a live action.
And if HBO specifically, because once you throw out that name, that's the big one. If HBO specifically, because they don't care. Like they show all kinds of like dark shit that we really like. If HBO picked up Death Note and did a show on it, a 2-season, season 1 covers literally up to L's demise, and then season 2 is Yagami Light's demise, I would be so here for that.
Yes, it would be so well done. Like they would pull it off, because Death Note
is grounded.
It's very grounded. That's the thing. Even though there's Shinigami and whatnot, it's a very grounded show. So that brings me to the point of One Piece. I feel like it doesn't need a live action. It's a very goofy. It's a cart. Like yes, it's an anime, but One Piece is a cartoon, if that makes sense. Like One Piece is like very
and it plays into that part of it. Like that is a big part of what makes it so good is that it's aware that it's a cartoon as well. The way the way it's written, the way certain panels are drawn, the way some of the scenes play out. And I already know what you're thinking too. Some of this shit is just not going to translate well to live action.
It's just not. It's just not. Like it can't. It just can't. Not even HBO.
Yeah.
Like it's just some of it's just a little too kooky and weird. That in live action, it's just like, eh.
Yeah, or it's going to be really bad CG or really cringy stuff like that. Where like even CG Ryuk from Death Note. Looking at that, I don't really like that either. Like it's just something about him not looking in the same plane as like you read the manga when you watch the anime, they're all drawn by a manga artist, and so it keeps it very consistent. But then when you watch these like live action movies and stuff, and Ryuk is literally CG, then it just looks shitty.
I think it can be done, but it needs some HBO Dragon budget.
Yes, because the dragons look real. The dragons look fucking real. Like that's one thing we always talk about bad CG and stuff, but when you think about Game of Thrones, the CG on the dragons is so high that when people are, granted, some of the writing it doesn't look the greatest. I won't lie about that part. But the dragons by themselves though look immaculate. They look insane.
Yes, they do.
But yeah, I'm not too excited about this. And I did say to you this week, I'm a little concerned about the main character who's playing Luffy. He said that he understands that like One Piece is one of the biggest franchises in the world, and that he's doing his research to make sure that he does a good job. Basically, just paraphrasing what he said. My whole thing is, I would really like it more if they just found someone who is an actual One Piece fan, like an actor, an actor who is a huge fan of One Piece, who has read all of One Piece, and not someone who, I don't know what the casting was based on, because I won't say that guy looks anything like Luffy, and I don't really care for castings that just go for the person being a lookalike. That's how that also can be really bad. Like you just found someone that looks like this person. And like that's cool and all, like, oh, this person looks like Sanji or whatever, but then it's it's like, well, this guy didn't really fit very well as far as embodying Sanji. So what difference does it make that he looks like him if he just doesn't really give Sanji energy? The fact the main character, the fact that the Luffy actor doesn't appear to be a One Piece fan in actuality, and that he has to do quote unquote research, I'm just not confident. I'm just not confident in that.
I remember the actors said the same thing for Dragon Ball Evolution. I remember when Dragon Ball Evolution came out, actor, I remember the main actor was talking about how like he was like doing research and reading all the Dragon Ball manga, and the main actress for Bulma was saying the same thing. And it's like,
and then you see how that turned out. Dragon Ball Evolution is one of the worst movies of all time. It's top 5 worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and a lot of people. It's one of the most poorly rated movies ever. It's just not good, and it doesn't even resemble Dragon Ball. Same thing with the Avatar movie.
That movie's terrible, but that movie was destined to be terrible because it was made by M. Night Shyamalan, and he's one of the worst directors ever. And I don't understand. I don't understand how he keeps getting work. I just realized recently that he did that Will Smith movie After Earth, and I've never seen After Earth, but I know everybody gives Will Smith shit for that movie. And
is that the one with him and Jaden? Like they were, it was him and his son, and they were. Yeah, I know. I've never seen it either.
But everybody gives Will Smith shit for that. But I've never heard anybody give M. Night Shyamalan shit for that when his name's right there as the director. And he's the worst. He's one of the worst directors of all time. Like, he fucking sucks. I don't understand how Hollywood keeps giving him work. Him and James Cameron. Fuck you and fuck Titanic. I don't care. James Cameron can fuck off too.
Drag them.
Dude, because James Cameron made
Avatar.
I just remembered. I already ranted about this. James Cameron fucking sucks. M. Night Shyamalan sucks more though. James Cameron, the thing about him is that you can actually both of them. They're just pretentious. You can tell they smell their own farts. Like they know that they're amazing directors, and so they just do pretentious nonsense, and it just fucking sucks. Anyway,
you just hate them. You hate them.
Their movies suck. Like, I fall asleep every time I watch a James Cameron movie, and I get sick every time I watch an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I'm not a big fan of M. Night Shyamalan either. Is he the guy that did the Sixth Sense?
Yeah, he did one decent movie.
And that's what it is. He hit that early 90s because The Sixth Sense came out in the 90s, right? Like I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. He caught that really crazy early career, blockbuster. And I think that he's been riding the coattails of that ever since, because honestly, every single M. Night Shyamalan movie I've seen outside of The Sixth Sense has not been very good. And honestly, even The Sixth Sense, I haven't seen it as an adult, so I can't really vouch for it. I know that people thought it was amazing back in the 90s, but
But you might watch it now and be like, bro.
Yeah, and I would have to try to watch it with the lens of like people living in the 90s and not people living in 2021. But still, if it's a good movie, it'll hold up regardless. I watch movies that are old.
I think Training Day, Denzel Washington Training Day is still a fucking incredible movie.
Yeah.
I think that I just recently rewatched it not long ago.
20, they could be 15, 20 years old and they still just hold up fine. So if the movie's good, it'll still be good. But I'm not convinced that M. Night Shyamalan can make a good movie. I'm sorry.
Me neither.
So I'm not really, I don't know. I don't even know how we got M. Night Shyamalan, because this
neither, but fuck
we were going in on the One Piece live action for Netflix. I'm not, again, just to close that one up, I am not confident that Netflix is going to do a good job with live action anime. And I really do think that until we figure out something else, something better, live action anime stuff just needs to stop.
Yeah, I think there are certain anime that can. I think what we need to do is stop going for the absolute biggest ones and go for just the ones that are big. Like
where's our movie for? What's the one with Johann Liebert? Monster.
Where's
the show for Monster?
That was going to. There was talks. This is years ago now, but there was legitimate talks of HBO picking up Monster.
Yep, Medina told me, and I was ready for that.
But like HBO that show is just that would just easily work. That would be one of the absolute biggest shows on American television if that came out on HBO, because people would actually be able to look at it and watch it. That show, just based on the anime, it would be an absolute smash hit.
Yeah,
I think regardless of whether or not,
like you said,
regardless of whether or not this Cowboy Bebop show is good, because even if this Cowboy Bebop Netflix show that comes out is bad, I think Cowboy Bebop as its own premise can be an effective live action, regardless of the one that's about to come out.
The more I watch it, the more I kind of agree, only because Star Wars is developed really well, despite it being about space piracy and things like that.
Yeah.
It actually doesn't feel too crazy when you're watching a Star Wars movie, especially the most recent ones that, technology where it is now, makeup and everything, the way, if you put the budget into the funny looking characters that are blatantly aliens and stuff like that, and if you give it a nice budget, you can make something look really good from space and
for sure,
go on planet to planet. So I'm not too concerned about Cowboy Bebop, because they're still humans in that.
Yeah,
I mean, like they're not, but like Luffy, like Devil Fruits and all that, all those different powers.
I just can't imagine this guy stretching his arm looking good.
Like, I can't imagine. Okay, can we talk about the real elephant in the room? The real elephant in the room, Kenny, is the heights on all the characters.
The heights. You just gotta give them a pass, man. The heights are not
because the admirals are probably just going to be regular humans. Like,
well, I don't think they're making it to the admirals.
Okay, cool.
I don't think they're getting past the East Blue as a whole. Like they might, you know what I mean? Like I can't imagine them getting past Arlong. And by the way, Arlong might look awful if they even get that far. I don't know how far. I'm just thinking
about Doflamingo, who is literally 11 feet tall on the dot.
Yeah.
How, you know what I mean? Like, how would he ever?
And like Kuma's torso is 11 feet tall, and his legs are like a foot.
Really?
No, I'm just like
okay. Yeah.
I don't know his exact height, but Kuma's torso is like 11 feet tall on its own. And then you look at his legs, and his legs are like fucking.
They really are. No, I thought that you knew that as a fact, because I was like, Doflamingo is actually 11 feet.
Kuma is bigger than Dofi, though.
Damn.
From what I remember, Kuma's bigger than Dofi.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, I just think One Piece it's going to be really hard. So I don't know. I'm guessing like every Netflix show, it's going to be 10 episodes. So I don't even know. 10 episodes, probably an hour each. I'm not really sure what all they're even going to cover, where they're going to start, what they're going to be able to cover in that 10 episodes, man. But I didn't even think about it. But they got to have a really good budget to make something like Arlong look good.
Yeah, that's what this is my concern, is that I don't know if, especially season 1, they tend to hold back a bit of the budget for season 1 of shows, except I don't know. Bridgerton seemed to have a really big budget, and The Crown had a really big budget. So I don't know if they're going to do the same thing for something that's so niche though. Like One Piece is a very niche thing. Even in the anime community, it's still like in the West, I should say.
Yeah, in the
In the
West.
West, it still has that like it's still people have to still fight for One Piece's respect, which really is strange.
In
It's
Japan,
strange.
Luffy's on fucking Coke cans.
Yes, like
Like
it's
he's
understood outside of the U.S., especially in Asian countries, how big One Piece is. But Americans don't really fuck with it on the same level as they do in Japan. Like you have diehard fans like me and you, and there's obviously a lot of
yeah.
people in this country who do really, really understand that One Piece is goated. It is one of the absolute best anime / manga there is, especially when we're talking about shonen specifically. It pretty much blows every other shonen out the water, and it's honestly not really close. Like from a story perspective and action and everything, like it really just does better than all of them. I'm talking about your faves, all right? Like all your faves lose the One Piece, if we're
It's
being honest.
it's true. It's true. That
It's
doesn't
that
mean we
good.
don't like them. We did
Yeah,
a whole episode on Naruto.
we like
Obviously
all of
like,
them.
but you know.
But when it comes to storytelling and everything, One Piece is one of the best. And I just feel like this is going to be a blemish on it. And it's kind of the same way I feel about that Death Note live action that Netflix did years ago, where when it came out, I was embarrassed because people who don't know anything about Death Note were like, "Oh yeah, I saw it on Netflix." Like when I bring up Death Note, they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw it on Netflix. I watched that," and I'm like, "Ugh, if that's your only
That's
Death Note
bad.
thing, I just feel because I'm vouching for it. I'm talking about
and they're like, imagine, right? Somebody, maybe it's not really a close friend of yours, right? But it's somebody that you've talked to in the past, and one day he's sitting on his couch and he sees this Death Note movie on Netflix. He's like, I remember Fraser talking really highly about this.
Yep.
And he goes to watch the movie and he's like, Fraser's taste fucking sucks.
And that's what I mean. So when we start talking about One Piece all the time and somebody goes, "Oh, let me check out the Netflix show," it's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
That is not what I wanted for you at all.
Not at all. You know something else that would work, I think, really good as a live action, but it would need a big budget. I think Gundam. Look at the Transformers movies, right? Like Gundam could easily work.
You know, I'm surprised that we don't have a good like international Gundam movie yet.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Gundam is pretty fucking huge, especially in Japan. It has a great story, really strong political story, and just well-written stories overall over a long history. I think the first Gundam came out in 1976.
Yeah, Gundam is huge. Like you said, Gundam is really big as a franchise, and it could very well be adapted into a really, really good show. Like you said, though, it's going to need a crazy budget for it to look good. But we already seen that, you know, with what's the one director that always has explosions and shit? Michael Bay.
Michael Bay, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Bay could definitely pick up Gundam and give us all the explosions and laser beams that we need.
I want Michael Bay to like direct it, but I don't want him writing it. All right.
Yeah, no.
Let somebody else write it.
I'm hoping that he's not a script writer of any sort. Definitely someone from Japan needs to write the actual screenplay. But yeah, I mean, I will be down for Gundam. You know what's weird? I was looking up some stuff about Gundam Wing like Friday or Thursday randomly. I don't know why. I started thinking about Gundam and I started thinking about Endless Waltz and just Epion, the Wing Zero, Death Scythe, Heavy Arms, Wu Fei, like just the original one that came on Toonami, because that was one of the cartoons that I grew up with. But I didn't understand the storyline because it was so political.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I only cared for the fights mainly of the Gundams. Like I didn't understand Treize Kushernada and Dorothy and all the other things that were going on. I need to go back and watch it as an adult and try to understand. It's actually not as long as I thought it was. It's pretty short overall, like under 100 episodes. But just go back and watch Gundam Wing start to finish so I can actually know what the hell it was about, and then watch like Endless Waltz and stuff to kind of get the OVA for it.
Gundam is definitely an older show. Like you need to be a bit older to appreciate it.
Yeah, teenage level easily. You definitely need to be a teenager.
Yeah, because it all of them get very political, and there's a lot of really good Gundam. Gundam Wing, like you said, Gundam Seed, Gundam 00 is really.
I heard good. Gundam Seed was amazing.
Yeah, Gundam Seed is pretty crack. People say that's the Dragon Ball Z of Gundam. G Gundam is the Dragon Ball Z of Gundam. Gundam Seed's kind of Dragon Ball Z as well, honestly.
I heard that Gundam Seed was so good. Even when
Gundam Seed is insane. G Gundam, then Gundam 76, which is the original Gundam series, And then I haven't seen many of the super new ones, but I actually really want to. I think it's like there's one called Gundam Iron Blood Orphans. And I'm like, man, that subtitle sounds amazing. Like,
yeah,
I just want to see that.
yeah.
But Gundam has really, really good storylines, and I think it could easily work.
Yeah,
It's Game
it
of
could definitely get
Thrones,
that
but
point.
instead of medieval and dragons, it's space and robots.
Yep.
Like
It
that's
definitely
what
has a
Gundam
lot of
is.
that, those plot twists and those love stories and all that going on. I remember Zex Marquise and Epion and him fighting against Wing Zero, that rivalry, and you never knew who was going to win because Epion was ridiculous. That fucking Gundam was ridiculous. And it was also something about, so Hero, the pilot of Wing Zero, he was able to see like the future or the past. And then Zex Marquise and Epion was able to see the opposite. So if one saw the future, the other one was able to see the past while they were in their Gundam. I remember that as a kid.
Yeah,
And
he was fuck, what did they call it? I don't remember. There's like a term. There's a term in the Gundam universe for there's certain Gundam pilots that are just like have this innate ability. I can't remember like the
what
very
they call
first
it, yeah.
yeah, the very first like Gundam main character, Amaro, he was one of them. I can't remember what they call it though. It's such an easy word too, but it's
It'll
slipping
come
from
back
me.
to us when we eventually, because I'm going to rewatch Gundam Wing. It's on my long list of things that I need to watch again. But now that I'm going back and already watching old shit, it won't be too hard. Me watching Cowboy Bebop right now for the first time, and going back and watching Gundam Wing for God knows how many times, but this time looking at it to understand it and not just to be like, oh, Epion versus Wing Zero again. Let's see how
Yeah,
this turns
yeah.
out. But yeah, I'm excited for that, and I'll never forget like the Endless Waltz movie of seeing the Wing Zero with its modifications and actually having the fucking wings. That was so cool. Also played the video game on PlayStation. It was a Gundam fighting game. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
There's a couple like sick Gundam arena fighters. The
Yeah.
arena fighter format works for Gundam because of what they are. Like they're
Yeah.
fucking your giant robots flying around.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I feel like the one that I played though. I think I did play an arena fighter one, but I also feel like I played typical like 2D type of fighter
Yeah,
Gundam game.
I know there's a OG like SNES one.
Okay.
There's like an OG SNES Gundam fighting game. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's the one, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how old it's been a long time, but I definitely do remember playing some Gundam Wing fighting games, and I just always go for Wing Zero typically in every game. I'm that guy. I'm that guy.
Hey, you gotta be that guy.
Yep. I don't even know if he was the best. You know how frame data and all that stuff matters in fighting games, but I just knew I was like, well, in the show, this is the strongest one, and it also is the coolest looking one. Except there's an argument to be made for Death Side because that Gundam looks crazy. But
Death
yeah,
Life is sick.
Death Side looks so cool. But yeah, so that's all. I guess that wraps up our whole thing about like live action anime stuff. Another thing coming out for Netflix really soon, apparently, is Stranger Things has another season 4,
Yeah,
which we
season
all knew was
4.
coming. They released a teaser for it. It's about 1 minute and 20 seconds long. It's not much in it. The characters have gotten much older again, and I think it starts off with 11 saying how it's been 180 days since Hopper has been missing. I think that's what she's talking about.
I think so.
Yeah, and she says she likes school now and all these other things. And they show her, it looks like she's in high school, I want to say. There's like spring break coming up, and they're saying we're going to have the best spring break ever. And as soon as they say we're going to have the best spring break ever, of course, the video goes into like straight chaos. There's gunfire, there's explosions, there's all types of shit happening, some alien nonsense as usual. So it's going to be a season of Stranger Things like it's going to be just like all the other ones for the most part. Season 1 still being the best one, and hopefully a conclusion on this whole thing. I don't really know how much longer they can drag this out.
Stranger Things is a great example of what you and me don't like about Squid Game season 2. Stranger Things season 1, I think, was very, very well done.
Yep.
But they clearly, at the time, like, you know, they didn't really know where they were going for the future. But Stranger Things became like the biggest thing on Netflix at that time. So they made a whole bunch of money. And so then they just like made season 2 and season 3. And I just, in my opinion, you can see a very obvious drop in writing quality in season 2, and then even more in season 3.
I am big not a fan of seasons 2 and seasons 3. Honestly, they have some good parts. Don't get me wrong. there are definitely some. The show is entertaining from the perspective that it's funny.
It's an entertaining show, yeah.
But when it comes to like storyline, seasons 2 and 3 just the storyline is so ass.
It's not good.
It's just plain ass.
I hated the whole fucking storyline with the heartthrob dude that was like fucking the moms.
Yeah.
He
Oh
was
my
so
god.
corny.
That the one with the Fabio hair and everything.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
storyline was not it. Also, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. It's bad. I can't remember what I was going to say.
Yeah. I mean, they all. I like the first time they introduced like the upside down, and I think it was Mike or whoever gets stuck on the other side, and they have to like get him. They can hear him calling out to him and stuff, and how it
Yeah,
looks
not
when
Mike. It was you talking about the kid that went missing the whole season?
Yeah, there was the one kid who was a Will.
Yeah.
And he comes. He's like a magician. He's like a magician or whatever. And they have like a way to determine who they all are because they play like RPGs together and stuff like that.
Yeah. Will's the one that got stuck in the upside down. That
Yeah,
season one was great, man.
Yeah, like I like the concept of the upside down. I like when they go to it and it's like little particles floating in the air, and those fucking demigorgon things that are terrifying. They're like plants that open up to like just teeth and a nasty ass tongue and all that. There's some really cool shit that they did in the first season. Also, Eleven's powers when she used them, but now I don't know. The show's morphed into something else, and it's starting to get like I guess teenage drama. But
the
like
teenage drama shit I don't know, man.
But with a side, because it seems like they threw her powers and stuff kind of as like an afterthought. They feel very much like an afterthought. Like I know she went through the whole bitching phase, which was really corny. That whole thing, like I'm bitching now, and like she was edgy. And
I liked it when it was just like obviously they have to grow up and stuff, and that doesn't make it bad. But
growing up is not why it's bad. It's the storytelling.
The direction, a lot of storytelling is really cheesy. Because, for example, I did enjoy the teenage drama in season 1 when it was like the older sister and like that guy Steve.
Yeah.
Because that teenage drama was like sort of part of a subplot, and it felt natural, and it just kind of was written in a way where it felt like it fit.
Yeah.
But then when the main cast were getting older, and then they were it just randomly felt like they were doing girls versus boys, and I was like, why are they doing this? Like what?
It just fell off. Stranger Things, honestly, like
super side note. In the teaser, did you see the black kid?
No.
If they don't have the black kid, I don't remember his name, but he was my favorite character.
I don't remember anyone's names, I'll be honest, except 11 and Hopper. And Will, I Mike and Will. So I know Mike, Will, Hopper, 11. I don't remember the name of the kid with the messed up mouth. I don't know how to describe his condition, but you guys know who I'm talking about. He's the hardcore lisp. He's the funny one. I don't remember his name, and I don't remember the black kid's name. I think that all of them are returning though. So I don't think.
All right, because he was my favorite character. He just always is like, man, I just like he's the down to earth one. He's like, y'all are fucking crazy. Like,
I like that about
He's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, he's great. I honestly though, I enjoy all of the characters when I think about Stranger Things, which is so weird because for us,
I know what you mean.
For us to be complaining about season 2 and 3, right? I like all the characters though, even the new ones. Like, the one Fabio guy, I could do without him, but he just serves like the little purpose of being like, oh, he's an older, hot teenager, and pretty much every teenage drama is going to have that like heartthrob, corny ass character. I wasn't expecting all the moms to be hot for him and all that shit. But whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's like whatever. You've seen this archetype before. This is nothing new. I like all the characters. I think they're all funny in their own right. I think they're all interesting in their own right. And I do like to see them grow. I just wish they wrote a more cohesive story where I could tell you, like, this is where Stranger Things has been going. I can't really tell you where it's been going.
Yeah, same. I kind of agree. I do enjoy all of the characters. I just don't enjoy the stories that they're in. The one character I honestly can say I don't enjoy though is Mike, the quote unquote main character, I guess.
Okay.
11's boyfriend.
Is it okay? So is he the one that has like his mom is pretty much a main character since season 1? Remember when they were writing? Oh, gosh, that's Will's mom.
That's Will's mom.
You said Will was the one that was lost, and I remember they had the lights, and he would like.
Yeah, that's Will's mom.
He would light up the lights.
Mike is was the de facto leader of their group. He's like the leader of the Young Bucks. I don't know. He just as he grew up, and he was the one that kind of became 11's boyfriend. As he got older, he just became such a little bitch. He became such a little bitch, man. I was like, I can't listen to this guy bitch about shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too excited about season 4 of Stranger Things. I'm going to watch it, of course, but it definitely has dropped in popularity. I would say in general. Even when I remember when season 3 came out, and most people watched it in like one day or whatever. It didn't buzz. There was no real buzz around Stranger Things. There was no like hype about it or anything. People were just like, "Oh, watch Stranger Things," and that's all I heard. I didn't hear anything else. And then I went and watched it, and I was like, "Now I understand why I didn't hear anything." There's
Yeah,
nothing to know about.
I I don't know if there was a buzz or not because I'm not on that part of the internet as much. But on my stream, I remember just like everybody, because everybody's like, "Hey, I just watched season 3." I was like, "Oh, cool, I'll get around to watching it." And then I watched it, and then I literally spent like 3 streams in a row talking about how terrible it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much in the same spot with that. Not too crazy about Stranger Things. I'm hoping that they're wrapping it up soon because I feel like the story just kind of didn't go anywhere for 3 seasons, and now we're going to 4. And it's like, okay, 11 is trying to live a as regular of a life as she possibly can, but of course, trouble and drama always seems to find her. I mean, the girl literally was a government experiment. So she's never going to have a regular life as far as I'm concerned. Like they're always going to be after her. And
So Hopper's just like in Russia or something.
I don't know. He was in the Upside Down, I think, and he's just going to come back at some point, probably like not season, but probably episode 2 or something. He'll just somehow come back.
Oh my god! Do
like
you
Jon
remember?
Snow.
I think it's season 3. One of the worst, like I don't know, subplots. The fucking Terminator ripoff. There was a guy like 3 episodes in a row that was like walking like a robot, and he was basically just a Terminator. He was a Terminator motif, and he was like chasing the kids around and like shooting. He's like, "Wah," and he was like walking real stupid and shit.
Forget.
It was so fucking bad.
I just remember that being a season, if I'm not mistaken, where like you said, the heartthrob guy got infected with like an alien thing, and it made him start bringing people to like his basement, and then they would get one of the parasites put inside of them, and so a bunch of the people in the town started to become controlled by these parasites. It was really corny to me. I don't even remember the subplots. The main plot was so bad. So yeah.
Well,
all right. Well, enough of Stranger Things.
Season 4 of Stranger Things.
Yep.
When's that coming out? Do we know when it's coming out?
I don't recall seeing a date in the teaser. I just watched it again. I don't recall seeing an actual date. So sometime in 2022. 2022 is really promising in general, but that is not one of the reasons why.
Wow.
All right. So one of the things I've been really excited about lately, and I am still counting down the days until it fully returns, but Bleach. It was not clear. Bleach is one of my favorite. Like,
do we know when that's coming out?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think
I've been hearing that it's coming back. I know it's confirmed to come back, but I don't have a goddamn date.
I heard a long time ago that it was like at the end of 2021, but now we're at the end of 2021, and I haven't seen a release date, so I'm going to assume 2022, and that this is not some vaporware shit that's just been promised to us and we're never going to get like Kingdom Hearts. I need Bleach to actually factually come back. I need it to be animated. Like I want to see the 1,000-year blood arc and all that stuff. It's a war arc. It's going to be insane. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about the war arc because I read half of it, probably a little bit more than half actually. So I do know a lot about what happens. I just don't know how it ends.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see an anime because there's so much shit. There's all these bankais that you never got to see before. And just crazy powers from some of the captains and the people that they fight against, and just a lot of that. And it'll look a lot better because the manga, one thing about Bleach that we always make fun of is that the manga chapters are pretty much blank in the background.
Yes, they are.
They tend to like, the shit talking is great. I think Bleach has the best shit talking in all of manga. It's up there with like Death Note. It's up there with Code Geass. Just like very crazy shit talking. It's one of the things that it prides itself on. And I think it is number 1 when it comes to that. But like, drawing backgrounds and just like cities and worlds is not Tite Kubo's strength.
Nah.
It's just not one of his strengths.
They very rarely, especially as it goes on, like as the series went on, like early, you look at early Bleach, there's actually more scenery in a lot of the chapters.
Yep.
But then as the series progresses, there's less and less scenery.
Yeah, like Karakura Town looks fine. It's a city. It looks like a city. It's fine. Hegomundo, like the world of the Hollows, it's a desert and it has like 1 or 2 buildings, Las Noches, and that's it. So it doesn't really look good when you're reading the chapters and it's just a character and the background is literally blank. But all that being said, to my original point, I'm really excited about Bleach coming back, mainly because Aizen, he has a lot of moments in the Thousand Year Blood arc and stuff, and I can't wait for that. Like, not to give any spoilers or anything like that, but Aizen being like my favorite Bleach character, and him just being a part of this final arc is so cool to me that they're gonna utilize him in some way. And I just like hearing him talk. I like hearing the things that he says. He's, there's like videos that I've been watching that say like, was Aizen actually evil? Was he like this or that? And at the end of the day, it's like, yes, he is actually evil because some of the things he did.
I swear to God, if I get to the end of Bleach and Aizen is Itachi, I'm throwing something at the wall.
Yeah, that would be bad writing. But no, it's like very clear. Like Aizen is evil. Like, even though what he was trying to do was to him like the right thing, and this is often what happens with villains, is that they think they're doing the right thing. Even Madara was like, I'm going to put everybody in infinite Tsukiyomi, and that way there's no more war, there's bliss for everyone's in a blissful genjutsu. This is like the ideal world where there's no fighting. So that's a noble thing to want, is a world with no war. It's the methods to go about it that always are a little on the crazy end,
a little wild.
And the things that made it where it was like, well, is Aizen evil or not? Is like, okay, there are things that he doesn't have to do to achieve his goal that he did do. And the biggest one being replacing Hinamori with himself when everyone was under his genjutsu, and having her get impaled by Toshiro through the chest, and just watching the captains OD on her like that. There was no need for that. Like, he beat them already. He's way stronger than all the captains combined, pretty much. Like, he didn't need to do any of that. And the fact that he did it, and just like a lot of other things, I don't know, he's just a wild person.
He's
he
fucked
just does
up.
A lot
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, he's a pretty fucked up person. So on one hand, it's like, yeah, you have this goal that you probably think is real noble and all this stuff, and you have this way of saying, oh, this is how the world should be, not how the world is. Losers think about the way the world is, and the people who are really powerful think about how the world should be, and they go out and change it. That's like Aizen's whole thing, is like, the Soul King is dead, no one's sitting on the throne. There should be a new ruler of the universe, and it should be me, and this is the way the world should be, and all this other stuff. So it's like, cool, you believe that, but do you have to kill 100,000 people to make a soul key to get to the Soul Palace and all this other stuff that you're trying to do? That's what he's trying to do with Karakura Town.
I'm excited to I want to rewatch all of Bleach before the new season, but I also want a release date. I don't want to rewatch all of Bleach and then have to wait a year.
Yeah, that would be annoying, because at that point you're going to forget a lot of it again anyway.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Bleach. I've only ever really watched Bleach straight through once, technically, but I've rewatched certain parts of Bleach over and over and over again. So I have certain things that I know like really, really well. Mm-hmm. And then there's a bunch of it that I just probably don't accurately remember, but I still remember the main bulk of the story, because when Naruto and Bleach were both in manga form, I read them back to back every single Wednesday or Thursday, whenever they would drop.
Yeah.
And that was like the best day of the week. Like, I would read my Naruto chapter, and then I would read my Bleach chapter, and I read them both in probably like 10 minutes each, and I'll just be so damn happy that reading a new chapter and talk to my friends like, yo, did you see the new chapter? So and we spend like 2 hours talking about a fucking 10-minute chapter, because with Bleach, it's really that fast to read it. But yeah,
it was good times. That shit's fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. One of the anime that I want to tell them to count your fucking days, Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has been airing the Mugen Train movie as episodes. I despise when this happens with anime. They did it with Dragon Ball Super for like the first, I don't even know how many episodes, but it literally was the Frieza movie and the Beerus movie. They just straight up aired that as episodes. I don't like that. It's just really corny, especially. So if something was coming out every week, how anime back in the day, like, there would just be an anime episode every single week. It wasn't really broken down into these seasons, and the seasons would come out like once a year and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Naruto used to just come out every week. Like, there would just be a Naruto episode every single week. That was just the way life was. There would be a Bleach episode every week. There was none of this like, oh, we're going to air 25 episodes and then we're going to wait a year. Now, granted, what this does do though is waiting a year is there's no filler. So
yeah, it makes what you get so much better, because that's what makes My Hero Academia so good, is that when the season comes out, like it gives you the juice.
It's the manga. It's no nonsense. It's not Naruto making noodles with his Rasengan. that not all of that bullshit.
Yeah.
It's real content from the manga every single time. So when somebody watches it straight through, like let's say you haven't seen any My Hero yet, and you started watching My Hero now, well, because there's no filler episodes really, it's just going to appear insane to you, as opposed to like if you just tried to watch Naruto start to finish and you actually didn't skip the filler, it's going to be a bad time because it's going to
not
be
gonna be good.
it's going to be so good, and then it's going to get to a point where it's so fucking miserably bad, and you don't understand like why is this so bad all of a sudden.
It's awful. It's
After,
just ugh.
yeah, after like episode 140 of the anime, whew, that original Naruto series.
I will say, and this is kind of weird, right? Because it's awful. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not.
Yeah, we've talked about this for years.
I do enjoy having seen all of Naruto, read all of Naruto. When I'm just chilling, the filler of Naruto, or like the filler of any show, makes great background noise. Like when you want to like,
True.
I kind of want to watch Naruto, but I don't want to pay attention all that much.
Yeah,
like putting on some of those filler arcs is kind of cool because you just like have them all like, oh, that's cool, and it's something when you watch the filler as supplementary material, as extra material, it's not as bad because it's like, oh, cool, this is like extra content.
right.
But when it's like when you're waiting week to week and you get fucking 50 episodes of filler, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm going to say though that with all this content that we can watch in the world, especially now, there is no world in 2021 where I'm going to put on Naruto filler, even if I want to see Naruto. I will just put on a real arc in the background and just have that playing. And I might even put that shit in English because whatever. Like,
you've already seen it and everything.
Yeah, but I refuse to put on the filler. I will put on Orochimaru fighting against the third Hokage again because I love that. I love that entire part. I guess the shooting exams going into that. I love that entire part of the original Naruto. It's like one of my favorite things. It goes into the Sasuke retrieval arc. I'll just put that on, and that can just be in the background. But I'll pass on the filler though.
I like when I'm going to sleep. I'll like put, not all the time, but different things. I'll put Naruto on Netflix or something.
Yeah,
and I'll just let that play straight through. And what I do, because I've already seen it all, is Netflix will stop playing after like 3 episodes or whatever, and then my computer will go to sleep. So I'll just put Naruto on and I'll watch it till I fall asleep. And then the next day when I go to sleep, I'll just put it on where it left off, even if it played 2 episodes while I was sleeping.
Yeah, you're like fuck it, this one.
Yeah, I just put it on and keep it moving.
Yep. I'm here for that. I like that.
I do shit like that a lot.
Yeah. How do you feel about some of these Marvel shows coming out? Like I'm excited.
Okay, so real quick, when I got on the call with you today, this is my first time seeing this list. I didn't even know this list came out. I heard through the grapevine. I heard about the X-Men 97. I heard about that. The way I understood it was that they're just taking the original X-Men 97 cartoon and they're putting it on Disney Plus. I didn't hear that they're making new episodes.
They are doing what you said.
Cool too.
But they're also releasing new content for it, and
so that's sick. But that, out of all of this, in terms of this little announcement here, so real quick, if you're listening, you can't see. It's got X-Men 97, Echo, Spider-Man Freshman Year, Agatha House of Harkness, Marvel Zombies, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, What If Season 2, I Am Groot, Ironheart, and Secret Invasion. These are a bunch of Disney Plus Marvel shows, as I'm understanding, that are being released.
Disney Plus. There's some missing from this too. There's more than this, like Loki and stuff like that.
I was going to say Loki season 2 better be coming.
Yeah, there's a lot, but this is like this is 12. There are 12 shows on just this little poster that we have up. If you're on Patreon, you can see it. But yes, this is exciting, and I'm excited for 2 things on this list because obviously X-Men 97, like I grew up with that show. I love that show, and that's going to be a show. You want to talk about something to put on before you go to bed?
100%.
Oh, that's going to be so good to just turn that shit on and just lay in the bed and let that play. So I'm definitely excited about X-Men a lot, but I'm really excited about She-Hulk because when I saw I don't know if it was like a teaser or just like a poster or something or a leak. I don't know what it was, but I did see like it looked like the actual Hulk was in it, and that's just going to be cool to see how that plays, like Bruce Banner being in it in some way. I don't know much about She-Hulk, the actual character. I've seen her played at Marvel 3. One of my friends actually plays She-Hulk as what his main. She's not the best
Damn.
character in Marvel
He
3, but
fucking gives them the Skechers. She has like a drop kick move. She put her
she does.
Skechers in your face.
She does. Yep. He's a very aggro player, and she's pretty aggro, so he likes to play her. But yeah, I don't know much about She-Hulk. So getting a She-Hulk show will get me more versed in her verse. And I'm here for that.
I know that she's a lawyer, and at some point she fucked Hercules.
Okay. Didn't
I'm
know
just
either of those things.
Yeah, she's a lawyer. Like that's her human day
I would
job.
have never guessed that.
And I just know in the comics at some point she fucked Hercules because she's a beast.
Oh right. Ironheart is the other one that I'm pretty excited about. Ironheart.
Yeah, Ironheart. That's the little girl that's like super smart and like makes a Tony Stark.
Yeah, I think it has to do with a girl who's pretty much taken over for Iron Man.
Dog. I heard this was coming out. I didn't know if it was going to be a show or a movie.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my one friend and I was saying, I don't know how they're going to do it. They probably won't do this, but how cool would it be if she makes her own little Iron Man suit and the AI is like Tony Stark's voice? So like the Jarvis of the suit was Tony Stark. Holy
I would like that.
God.
Yeah, and that's a way for them to also give Robert Downey Jr. more money.
Yo, that would be so clean.
I would like that though. I would really like that. That's a cool idea. Also on this list we have I Am Groot. I have no idea how this is supposed to be good, but Marvel has a way. Marvel Disney, they have a way of just outdoing themselves. I didn't expect WandaVision to be as good as it was.
My question is: are they going to give Vin Diesel a full season's worth of money to say "I am Groot" for 10 episodes?
Yes.
Well, I still can't believe Vin Diesel is the voice actor for Groot.
That is so random because anyone can do it. Anyone could do this. There's no question about that. There's no like shade about it. It's just anyone could do Groot. I don't know if he's actually going to be the voice actor behind it. I imagine he is. They seem to be pretty consistent on using real people.
Yeah.
Not obviously not every single time has been the actual voice actor, but most of the shows so far have used the real voice actors. So like T'Challa in season 1 of What If, that's him. Like that is his last Marvel role. That is him speaking. He's doing the voice of T'Challa. So I don't know what they're going to do with this Groot show. I imagine it's not going to be just Groot in it. I think that there's going to definitely be a cameo or someone tagging along with him because otherwise, what are we really watching?
Yeah.
I just have no expectations for that, so I'll just see what they do with that. Spider-Man Freshman Year is animated, so
okay. I was going to ask, because I know Disney / Marvel and Sony are still having like disputes of whether or not they're going to let Spider-Man be in the Marvel universe and Tom Holland and shit. And
there was a whole thing.
It's frustrating.
It really is. I saw a meme that showed Spider-Man and he looked like he was really traumatized. I'm pretty sure it's a clip from a movie or something, but he looked like he was really traumatized. And it said, when you hear that like Sony and Disney or whatever are still fighting over the rights to Spider-Man and you know that Uncle Ben's about to get killed again.
Yeah, it's so annoying, man.
And go ahead.
I don't know. I know that, I know that both companies or whatever are probably trying to be dicks and get more money, but I just wish Sony can realize that, hey, we had the Spider-Man IP for 20 years now and did nothing with it. Every Spider-Man movie we made pretty much sucks. Like the Amazing Spider-Man movies aren't good. Spider-Man 2 and 3 from the original trilogy weren't good. Even the first Spider-Man movie isn't really that good. We just all look at it with nostalgia glasses. But like,
I like Spider-Man 2. That's the one with Doc Ock, right?
Yeah.
The one with Doc Ock where he's pulling a train.
Yeah. Like, there's great scenes in it, but
yeah, I like the first 2 Spider-Man movies. The third one, and I'm talking about Tobey Maguire. I like the first 2. I haven't gone back and watched them now. I'm sure that they've aged not as good as
they don't age all that well.
Yeah, they probably didn't age well. I haven't seen them in God knows how long. I'm just gonna say decades because it actually has to have been since I've seen Tobey Maguire.
I've seen them within the last 4 or 5 years. So I rewatched them with my little brother, and like there's parts of them that I still like, but ultimately they're just not that good.
Yeah, I hated the Amazing Spider-Man.
That one's not good at all.
And whatever one had Jamie Foxx as the Shocker.
That was the sequel to the Amazing Spider-Man.
Really bad movie. Jamie Foxx was fucking awful. God awful as a villain. He was so bad. I took so many screenshots of that movie and posted them on Facebook. I was like, this can't be real. Look at Jamie Foxx. He looks ridiculous. him as a villain is also so corny. He's just not good at it. He's a great actor in other places. This was just not one of them. All checks are not good checks. All money's not good money. He should not be in that type of role in the Marvel. He's just a terrible villain. Like, if you ever want to question what I'm saying, just go and watch whatever fucking Amazing Spider-Man movie had Andrew Garfield, I believe, is the actor that plays Spider-Man, and whatever one has Jamie Foxx in it. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's really, really bad.
So
really, really bad.
With all of that said, I don't know what they're doing with this freshman year thing, but I don't know. I hope that Tom Holland's the voice actor or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm hoping that too, because it is technically, it sounds like, going to be the natural progression to the Spider-Man story. Like, freshman year is obviously college.
Yeah.
And we know that he's in high school right now. So I'm assuming that this is going to actually be him in college, coming from high school. That what movie's about to come out? Far From Home or something?
Or I think No Way Home.
No Way Home, yeah. So we have Homecoming, Far From Home, and now there's No Way Home. It's getting a little crazy with the home part. But yeah, freshman year sounds like it's going to be right after that, I imagine. And if that's the case, then Tom Holland should be the voice actor. And then they'll probably, I don't know, maybe this is double dipping. They'll probably do a live action of freshman year, or maybe do a movie that comes after it where you had to have watched freshman year to really understand it.
Well, my guess is the reason why this is animated is because Sony, I think, only owns the movie rights to Spider-Man.
Oh.
But I don't think they own the animated. So, like, for example, I think that's I don't know for sure because I just found out this thing's being made right now. But you saying it's animated, and me thinking back on previous Spider-Man things that have come out, like, I know Disney had a show called Ultimate Spider-Man or whatever that came out on, like, the Disney Channel, I don't know, within the last 5 or 10 years. But yeah, I don't think Sony owns the rights to animated Spider-Man, which might be their, like, workaround, their loophole for now. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of that either. But I do like Spider-Man in general. He's one of my favorite heroes because he's not too ridiculous. So, and pretty entertaining overall, I would say. And always able to carry. Spider-Man is one of the heroes that can carry a movie by himself. And doesn't need a whole big cast. Like, I feel like some of these other movies that we've been getting, I just feel like they don't do too well as standalones personally. So yeah, Spider-Man should be. I have high hopes for the Spider-Man animated movie or series or whatever they're doing with that. Agatha, House of Harkness, I already mentioned in the WandaVision episode that I looked her up and just like read about her a good bit and found out that she is Scarlet Witch she's one of her mentors, like one of her teachers. She shows her a bunch of shit in the comics. So I'm imagining that when she said, "You're gonna need me, you don't know what you just unleashed," or whatever that whole part that she said before she got turned into a nosy neighbor, we're gonna get some detail into her role.
I wonder if this is a prequel, and like I basically wonder, is this a sequel to WandaVision and she's like breaks out of the spell, or is this a prequel and it's going to give us a hint at something coming in the future?
Maybe both. Right? Maybe it'll start off doing. You know how they did that one random episode of WandaVision where they just showed the episode started off with her being condemned to death by her coven.
Yeah.
They might go a little further back because we didn't really see what she did.
Mm-hmm.
So they might actually, like you said, like prequel. I was thinking this too, but they might do a prequel part where they show a whole episode about just Agatha, how her power, because her powers are clearly ridiculous. She's very powerful. She took out a whole coven by herself, and including their Supreme. So
she's her mom.
Yeah, she's a pretty powerful witch overall. So they'll probably go into like why. And then I imagine that this has to somehow roll up into Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And that Book of the Dead or whatever that, I always forget what the name of that book is, but yeah.
Marvel Zombies, I'm interested if they're just going to offshoot continue what they showed in What If, or if they're going to like reboot that story fresh.
That episode was crazy.
Yeah. Marvel Zombies, the episode on What If was crazy. And I know there's a whole comic book storyline for Marvel Zombies, so they could do something pretty sick with that.
Yeah, some of the heroes should not be zombies though. They're just too OP.
When they said the way they did that one What If episode was dope. When they the narrator was talking about how, like, you know, Earth's mightiest heroes went to like stop the outbreak and that was their downfall because like one of them got bit and then it just got bad from there.
Yeah. Yeah,
It got
the Hulk
real
becoming a zombie is really, really bad. Scarlet Witch becoming a zombie is also really fucking bad. I remember that being like a plot twist or whatever, where Vision was on some shit.
bad.
He was on some shit. You've seen all of What If, right?
Yeah, I see. I saw all
Oh,
of it.
okay. So I'm not like, but yeah, we'll have a What If. I guess we might do a whole episode on it or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit that went on in this, specifically in the zombie episode. So like you said, I have kind of high hopes for Marvel zombies as well, because it was such an interesting concept to see some of them as zombies and how like, yo, this is not okay. Like Tony Stark, Captain America, like all these people being turned, I guess evil or whatever you want to call it, is just not a good look. And if you end up with an evil Hulk or a zombie Hulk, just wrap it up.
Wrap it the fuck up.
Yeah. I just like when Scarlet Witch still being able to use magic as a zombie. I was like, this is too much. Like
some of it is coke. It's like, how? Like, what is happening right now?
I was like, that's a bit much. Like, come on. Like the Hulk is like, okay, he's brutally strong no matter what, right? Like that's just who he is. But doing spells, I would imagine, requires some level of not being a stupefied, decaying human body. So that's why when I saw her, I was like, oh, that's just not
okay.
Yeah, no, that's just not okay.
Yeah, I mean, dude, even Hank Pym, fucking Ant-Man, just still using his powers, like getting small, getting big.
Yeah, like come on, that's just not fair, especially for how small he can get. And like, I think he killed the Hulk, so it's just like, yeah, just going inside of people and then expanding yourself. It's just like, all right, well, that's not okay, especially when used for evil. It's like, yeah, no.
Yeah. Now, off the top of my head, I'm not sure if I know what Echo is supposed to be.
I don't know what Echo is either. And I didn't look these up. Like Miss Marvel.
I know what Miss Marvel is.
What's that?
She's just like a superhero. Like if I remember correctly, her outfit in the comics is like all black, and I think it has like a white lightning stripe on it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's Miss Marvel. It's like a black outfit with like a white lightning stripe.
Yeah, I don't know her. I don't know much about Moon Knight, but I've heard of Moon Knight, but I don't know much of the lore. And in Secret Invasion, something about that looks like Venom.
That would be wild. Secret Invasion, that storyline sounds familiar. Off the top of my head, I don't remember it.
It sounds like something that we've heard before, but I don't know what Secret Invasion. Something about the way it's written, though.
Yeah, it's hard to remember everything. I'm pretty sure if I go to a wiki, I would remember pieces of Secret Invasion, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, for the people who want to write into IMNerdpodcast@gmail.com and let us know some of these ones that you're excited about, because we don't really know. Like, honestly, until the trailers come out for all of these shows or someone else explains to us, we're just kind of like waiting and just happy that there's so many. Like, there's so much content.
Yeah, there's a lot. The Disney Plus app is going to be on fire, yo.
Yeah, it's been great. Honestly, it's I can't say it's been a worthy investment because I don't pay for it, but it's been great as far as content goes. I'm excited when new shit comes out because so far it's all been good. It was at first I was like with WandaVision, it was a little shaky, but they've
got some good stuff. And then I haven't seen what's the new Marvel movie? Not
Eternals.
Not Eternals, the other one. The Asian one.
Oh, I have to watch that.
That's on Disney. Yeah, that's on Disney Plus.
It came out Friday on Disney Plus. Yeah, so we should do an episode. You want to do an episode on that?
I'm down. Yeah, I'm down to watch it. And,
all right, I can watch it before the next episode on Wednesday, so I'll have tomorrow and Tuesday and technically Wednesday to watch it. So yeah, I'll watch it. I mean, I heard it was actually good, so that could be our next episode.
Yeah, we can watch Shang-Chi, and then I still gotta watch Black Widow, but I'm not in a super rush to watch that.
Yeah.
Eternals, as soon as it gets on Disney Plus, I'll watch it. But Disney Plus has had a ton of great Marvel content. But then even as a side, just I guess as a side note, all the Pixar and Disney movies on there are also just still amazing. So
yep, I watched one of the Toy Stories like around this time last year, and I had so much fun watching it.
Yeah,
I didn't expect it. It just came out of nowhere. I was like, wow, this is actually. Like it was one of the later Toy Story movies too, so I don't really remember those movies as well.
I've only seen one. I haven't seen 4. I saw 1, 2, 3.
Yes, it was so good. It was the one where they get dropped off into a facility with a bunch of other toys.
Yeah. That's 3.
The one teddy bear who pretends to be good at first is like, nah, you guys got to deal with the fucking kindergartners who like rip you up, and treat you terribly. You got to do your time. So that was the one I saw.
Dude, he was like a mob boss.
He was.
Right now, boys.
Yeah, he was a mob boss. But that one was really good. Like the plot twist. It was funny in every possible way. And I was like, damn, Toy Story just don't miss. Now I didn't see the fourth one yet. I don't
Me
think.
neither.
But I'll even watch that one. I'm sure it's amazing. Like I'm sure
Yeah, same.
I don't think there's a bad Toy Story movie.
I agree.
Is there anything else you wanted to touch base on before we get out of here?
Off the top of my head, I don't think so.
Yeah, we ranted pretty hard last week.
I feel like we covered a lot of shit. Like we did a whole thing on Netflix. We talked about a bunch of food and the Marvel shows.
Yes. Let me see. Okay, let me just check one thing to see if there might be something else for us to dive into. I don't really think that there was much going on, but okay, Boba Fett is joining Fortnite in December from Star Wars. So they got Naruto sheep in it, and now they're gonna have Boba Fett.
I heard, I don't know if this is true on that Naruto thing. I heard that it's supposed to be Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi.
It is. I saw something more official, or I should say something more recent that does show all four of them are in it.
Nice.
So the whole team's in it. Yeah, I can't imagine what they had to do to get that, but that is actually amazing that Sasuke is going to be in it because if I ever play Fortnite, that's the only character I will play. Let's see. There's just like little shit out there. Sony. So the PS5 is a year old, and Sony has 25 exclusives.
Holy shit! It's been a year.
Yes.
And it's still not findable.
No.
Oh man.
Yep. Well, as you know, there's a lot of supply chain shortages in general going on.
Yeah.
And it's been affecting every industry, which is why inflation is happening to so many different things like food and gas. Everything is going up.
The price of everything is real right now.
It is. Inflation's real. And so Sony still having a hard time with their getting actual consoles out. It's the holiday season now. But they've been pretty much shortened, and obviously scalpers are just buying up every single one that they can because there's money to be made on them. So it's really annoying. I don't want a PS5 because there's nothing for me to play on PS5. I tell that to everyone who has one or who tries to get me to buy one or make me interested in it. I'm like, it will be furniture. There's no game on PS5 until maybe a Monster Hunter comes out or the God of War Ragnarok when that comes out, or if they do a Final Fantasy. There has to be something on it, maybe Kingdom Hearts, that gets me to buy it. But right now, like, it has a really cool Spider-Man game on it, but that's not enough to make me buy a PS5.
Go ahead, my bad.
There's just no reason for me to own one yet, and I don't believe in buying consoles for furniture, especially when Sony makes a better version of their console all the fucking time.
Oh my god, all the time. I'm gonna say I was never an Xbox fan. I just never really was, never grabbed me. But my little brother having the Xbox One, and I pay for Xbox Game Pass for him. I've used the Game Pass quite a bit. And I will say Microsoft is offering by far the best deal over Nintendo, Sony. I don't like the Xbox One. I hate the UI. I hate a lot of the user interface of that console and the way some of the options of that console function. I can't stand. However, the sheer value of Game Pass is so fucking good.
They give you a lot of games, I'm assuming.
They give you a lot of new games.
How much is it?
I don't know how much I pay right now because they just take it out of my PayPal, but I signed up for it. It was only $1 a month when I signed up for it. Now that was just for like a promotional month.
Yeah.
But then I want to say it's like maybe 15 a month or 10 a month. I don't remember.
So it's super cheap.
But you get
under $20.
You get a ton of games, and you also will occasionally get like new games. Like they have during the last E3, let's say they showed 30 games, 22 of them were like, this game comes out on this date and same day on Game Pass. So 20 of Xbox's new games that are coming out all come out on Game Pass. So if you're just paying for Game Pass, you get to play a brand new $60 game, for quote unquote free.
That's wild.
The Game Pass deal is insane. And so if I do buy one of the new consoles right now, it'll probably be the Xbox. And I'm not an Xbox fan in general. And once again, I hate the UI of the One. But
so is that the newest one? Is the One the newest Xbox?
No, one is the one before this one. Xbox has terrible naming. There's Xbox 360, and then the Xbox One. Their third console is called the Xbox One, and now their most recent fourth console is called Xbox Series X.
Okay, I hate this.
It's so stupid.
I've never owned an Xbox in my life. I still don't have any intention. I believe you on the value because you are one of those people who loves value. So I do believe you that I do believe you when you say there is immense value to be gained from having an Xbox Game Pass thing.
That said,
I
just to cut you off real quick, you can get Game Pass and have it work on your PC. They make it
oh,
so that you can use Game Pass on your PC. So
so
just
I was gonna say that's more so where I'm leaning towards in my later years is more PC gaming because
yep.
I have a gaming PC and yeah, I mean I ran the new Tales game. Like Gary gave me the download for it and it runs flawlessly on my computer. I
Mm-hmm.
was able to hook up my PS4 controller to it, and everything was smooth and fine, and there was no input lag or anything. It was great. Like I was literally just sitting in here on my PC playing Tales of Arise at like max settings and everything, and it ran so smooth. And I was like, damn, I've never really been a PC gamer, but
Yep.
between that and also seeing how Monster Hunter Rise looks at a constant 60 frames per second,
It's amazing.
no frame dropping, and just also mods and stuff like that, I'm really like I'm finally starting to come over to the I guess the dark side and be like,
It's
you know
worth
what?
it.
Yeah,
That's
it
one of
is.
that's one of the reasons why both Xbox and PlayStation. Like I feel, and I've felt this way since the PS3. I don't really feel, although I did own a PS3, I don't feel a need to get Sony or Microsoft consoles because most of their games come out on PC. Not all,
Yes.
but most of their games come out on PC. You really, in my opinion, just need a Nintendo and a gaming PC because Nintendo is the one that has like a lot of exclusives
Yes.
compared to the other two. But then a gaming PC kind of get, and now that Kingdom Hearts, if the next Kingdom Hearts just releases on PC, now that we have all of the previous Kingdom Hearts on PC, if Kingdom Hearts just starts getting released on PC, I'll never need to buy a console again.
Yeah, I think that you're right about that. About like Nintendo consoles, especially if they're going to be handheld, they'll always have a place. But if like it gets to a point where any PS5 game could pretty much be played on PC, then like I'll technically never need a PS5. But I don't think they're going to go that route only because that one headline I just read from IGN said that they have 25 uh, titles that are exclusives in development. Now I don't know if that's exaggeration. I don't know if that's just hearsay. I don't know if it's rumor, whatever. But
Yeah.
25 is a lot. Obviously, I won't care about 20 of them. But if God of War is one of them, that will sell me a console by itself.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
there's certain games, yeah, you know it. Certain
Oh,
games can
yes, I
sell
do.
me a console. Monster Hunter can sell me a console, and it
Yep.
sucks because if Monster Hunter got, let's say Monster Hunter World, let's say a trailer came out for Monster Hunter World releasing on the Xbox Series X and also on PS5, right? Because it's not going to be a Nintendo. Monster Hunter World's not going to be Nintendo. It's going to be on the high, like the really powerful consoles for the graphics and all that stuff, and just consistent frames and everything that comes with that. I would buy a console, even knowing that eventually it's coming on PC, because I need to be able to play that game immediately. And
Yeah, like day
also,
one. Yeah.
and if I'm being honest, most of my friends who I would play with will also be playing it on a console, which is kind of annoying because all of us do have gaming PCs. Like, it's not like you and I, the
Hmm.
two main people who played Monster Hunter Rise together, like you were the person I played with the most when we look at each other's guild card.
Yeah, yeah.
You and I both have gaming PCs, but it's still not out on gaming PC yet. Like right now,
It's
Monster Hunter,
yes, it's still not out, and we played that game already a ton.
we
And
did.
also, the other thing that's scary, and this happened with Monster Hunter World, even though I didn't get into it, I had planned on getting in the Monster Hunter World at some point on PC, and I remember basically it was like a year behind because it came out a year late, and then it was a
Yeah.
year behind because by the time World came out on PC, the PS4 was on Iceborne, and the
Yes.
PC version still didn't have Iceborne yet.
Yep.
And that's what sucks when Rise comes out on PC. Is it going to come out with Sunbreak, or are they going to wait a year for Sunbreak? Like,
No,
how's
no.
that
I
going to
think
work?
so. I think I'm not sure. I think that Rise, like just regular Rise, is coming out early 2022. I think I heard that. I feel like that's like a thing that's happening. I feel like it's coming out before Sunbreak.
Hmm.
And the only reason I also think that is I watched a couple of videos when Rise was first announced for PC of people playing developer copies and stuff like that. Or like the demo, okay, the demo was out on Steam right now for the PC.
Oh, I'm going to
And
download that and try it.
yeah, because people were posting videos of like, look at how well it runs and just, all of that stuff. And then people started doing the speed runs on Magnum Milo at 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what people did. And when Rise came out on Switch, that's what people did in that version as well. But now they're showing like, look at how nice it looks. Look at how nice the longsword is when you actually have perfect timing on a weapon that counters everything. And they were saying how, and you know this too, but like frame rate affects uh, shooting weapons. Like it literally affects their fire rate and everything. So they were saying how guns just feel naturally better.
As if they needed it.
I know, right? Yeah.
You guys know I'm a gun hater for Monster Hunter.
Literally in Monster Hunter World, I remember when they came out on PC, they were saying how certain weapons, certain guns, literally got an extra shot out. Like an extra bullet got fired because of the frame rate being higher.
That's crazy.
Yes, that's a real thing. I was like, wait, that's what? Like, that's actually insane.
Yeah. The next Monster Hunter, whenever that is, right? We're far away from that because I still have a ton of content to dig into with Sunbreak. It sucks because I would love to just transition. I would pay $60 and play it on PC.
Me too.
Only if I could transfer my save, and I can't transfer my save, so I'll just play the Switch version for all of Rise.
Yeah, me and you will just play the Switch version, and that's fine. And hopefully, when they release the next Monster Hunter game, it will just be on PC. Hopefully, from the start. I mean,
at launch, I would hope, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, because Sunbreak is going to be a huge game. We're going to play it for a good 2 months, I would say, like a lot.
Yeah,
and we're going to have a ton of fun with it. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great. If it's anything like Iceborne was, it's going to more than double the roster, all that good stuff. So I'm excited for that no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to transition to the gaming PC world.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe when the next, because Rise was my first real Monster Hunter that I super dove into. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, there's no point even thinking about it. It's not going to be till like 2024. I don't know, I'll just wait. There's no reason to theorize.
Yeah, like World 2. Yeah. Yeah, because I think that if they do release Monster Hunter World, whatever is coming after, it won't even be announced until 2023, I think.
Yeah, we've got a while.
Because the Sunbreak's coming out summer 2022. So that's halfway through the year. 2022, they're going to announce, we're going to have Sunbreak. They're going to be doing content for Sunbreak all through the remaining part of 2022. Like, we're going to get releases and stuff probably up until December. They're still releasing stuff for Rise right now, and they came out in March.
I booted up Rise the other day and I went to the little cat to get all the add-on content, and there was a list. I was like, holy crap. So I don't know, a month before Sunbreak comes out, I'm gonna probably get in the Rise and start clearing some of that content.
Yeah, we talked about this. That'll definitely be a thing that we do, because I can't pick up my console right now and beat some of the monsters. I'm sure, like, I'll struggle with at least Valstrax and All Mother Narwa for sure. But yeah, that's this wraps up episode 32 of the IMNerd podcast. Let me give a quick shout out to our patrons over at Patreon.
Yes.
So we have Connie, Austin, Leon, Quest, Garen, Xavier, Hylian, TCG Automotive, Silver Chronic, Tyree Tinsley, Dimitri, Alexander, Vinny. Thank you guys so much for being on our Patreon, and where we drop exclusive content and all that stuff, as we always say. We're also dropping another exclusive episode this coming week. So Kenny and I are going to record that this week, and we're going to drop a Patreon exclusive episode leading up into the week of this Thanksgiving. Also, for the week of Thanksgiving, we haven't really decided what we're going to do, but it's a big family week for us. It's also Thanksgiving. I didn't know this until yesterday, but Thanksgiving Day is my birthday this year.
Oh, shit.
I did not know that. I didn't know that the 25th. Like, November 25th is actually Thanksgiving Day this year. I had no idea. So I just found this out yesterday, which is, that's cool or whatever. Like, my birthday is Thanksgiving. And this happens every couple of years. But I don't know if we're going to be recording a podcast during that time. It'd probably be like a break week or something, just because it's holiday season.
It's going to be so big. Like, I know leading up into, like, I'm going to be not in my house for about a week.
Yes,
I go to my dad's house. I spend time at my dad's house. I go to some other family members' houses.
And my sister just bought a house last year, but like when she bought it, it was still like, oh, Delta variant and all this other crazy stuff. So the family we didn't do like a housewarming or anything like that. So, but this year, with things being a little bit safer, so we're gonna have like Thanksgiving at her house and a bunch of people over and all that stuff. So I have a lot of family stuff happening in 2021 holiday season, whereas in 2020 it was kind of like more low key, like try to stay healthy and safe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have a busy week. My birthday is Thanksgiving. I have a couple Friendsgivings to go to. Should be pretty fun. But yeah, I'm don't expect episodes that week. I think that we're gonna just take that week off, and we'll just reconvene the week after.
Most likely.
But yeah, and we'll have to figure out Christmas and New Year's week because it's pretty much the same thing again. Like there's just like a week where Christmas and New Year's are within 7 days of each other always. And yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do with recording, but probably another break, and this will just be expected every year.
Yep. No, I just thought of this is super random, completely off topic. I'm just going to say this real quick.
All right.
Remember that show Manifest I was talking to you about?
The bad one.
There's an episode, and in one of the episodes, the dad he puts like the X on his chest, like the Wakanda Forever. And he does it to his son. And when he did it, I was so confused. I was like, Wakanda Forever. I was like, why is he doing that? And then he was like family. And like, I don't know, I guess it meant family. I don't know, it was really weird. I don't know why I just thought about that. But I just remember it was really because
was he black?
No, that's why I was laughing.
Yeah, that's why you were, yeah.
It was this white guy with blonde hair, like doing the Wakanda Forever to like his little white kid.
And, yeah, like, you were like, back. What the fuck?
And when I saw it, my immediate response in my head was Wakanda Forever. And I was like, what are they doing? And then he was like, family. And I was like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, that's all right.
Anyway, I don't know why I thought about that, but that shit made me laugh.
Well, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening, and as always, say do the things that make you happy.
Wakanda Forever.
All right, bye.